All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today is April the 8th, 2021. Welcome to Trendy Trading. My name is Jonathan. We're going to go ahead and start just like we do always. I want to familiarize yourself with my screen. And so, our biggest thing here at Trendy Trading is we work on transparency, and transparency being right up here in your upper left is going to be my current account. These are the current trades that I have on. These are going to be scrolling across here. If you have any questions about those, please bring those up. And then over here to the right is our brokerage accounts. Nothing like it out there. So these are right in the back end of my API of Thinkorswim, and these send to the chat room in milliseconds. So there's never any question whether or not I took a trade, how much it was, what time it was, and so forth. And a couple things to understand: the green means I bought, the blue means I trim, and it does say here as well. We do have allocation, and the allocation key here in the room is right underneath the pinned messages on how many contracts that means, how many equity, how much equity I bought, and so forth. The red means either I close the position or I get stopped out. And then in this little box here, it shows the percentage gained or percentage lost. Okay, so don't get those confused. Just because it's red just means it was stopped, but does not mean I actually lost money. All right. And then here on the charts themselves, we are looking at a 4 hour. I want to put this onto a weekly. We always want to concentrate on the bigger picture. And then I want to show you probably no less than a 4 hour chart. The first thing we're going to cover is going to be the ES futures. So I use the ES futures to guide me on my equity and options trades. So we started this blueprint quite some time ago, and basically from the green box to the red box, we want to be long in equity and options. All right, so as long as we're making higher lows and we are moving out of that green box, we are long until we get to the red box. All right, now that red box is made from Fibonacci extensions, supply and demand, trendy edges, and so forth. We teach everybody how to do this. So what do we do now that we're in this red box? The best analogy I could tell you is this is where price typically will turn around. There's a couple things going on. We're a bit extended, not overextended. Okay, we're a little overextended. So what this means for me is just be cautious. All right, that means I'm not going, full gas pedal down right now. It just means I'm pumping the brakes. The easiest way for me to do this is to concentrate on a smaller picture and give you some subtle hints to what may happen if there's going to be a reversal in the market. So again, overall, my bias is bullish, and you can see that by looking at my banners up here. I am extremely bullish. Okay, so these are programmed to let you know exactly how I feel. We have an inside and up, okay, on our weekly, and this is where I'd expect buyers to come in if for some reason we get some big pullback. On the short term price, we have jobless claims coming out today, so please pay attention to this, as we will probably get a temporary fluctuation in price. This is really important. A lot of traders, especially new traders, put too much emphasis on this data. The overall trend is intact, and if we get a pullback, I would expect buyers to come in at or around certain levels. Okay? All right. I'm going to give you those levels as we get started here. So far, ES is up about 14 points. That's equivalent to about $1.40 in the SPY. So again, 10 points for the ES equals about $1 in the SPY. All right. Now these are the targets. All right. Now I put these targets in for our members last night because we want a shorter term. We're getting into Thursday, Friday. Obviously, the market's closed for the weekend, so we want to start looking at smaller candles, but paying attention to the bigger picture. So right now we're bumping up against my target 1 that I gave out last night, and you can see that we moved very close into target 2, 40.94. What we're looking for is support at or around the line in the sand of 40.73 by 40.65 today. That's if price were to pull back. Again, I'm looking for support in this area here. Again, temporary movement on the data, the econ data that will come out, and I would expect buyers to come in here. If we start to bid immediately, okay? Meaning buyers step in when the market opens up. It's very important that you concentrate on this pre-market high, especially if we can't get up there before the open. All right, so if we come up like this and we make a lower high, look for price to fade just a little bit. And again, if we were to fade, it could be right in this area. Bigger picture is just consolidating. All right, look for buyers to step in around these levels that I talked about. And then once again, as we move up, pay attention to your second pivot. You have a one pivot, two pivot. Can we make a higher high? If we cannot, the higher probability is we will fade into this lower target that I have put here at 40.65. If for some reason we do get over the high, you could see here my targets are 40.94, 41.06, and then finally 41.28 for now. Again, that is the ES futures. Let's go ahead and move over into SPY. And for any reason you cannot see on Periscope, Twitter's a little funky about the resolution, you can always go over to YouTube. All right, we do have a page there as well. All right, so I'm going to get into SPY here. Let's go ahead and change these to orange. I'll make this one orange, and then we're just going to put this on the SPY. All right. So if you've been following me for quite some time, you know we do what's called a neutral strategy. We do keep it very simple. Once price moves out of the neutral, we look to go long into the targets above, and the targets above are resistance until they're not. These are also trim targets for us. Anything that's above price is our trim areas or close. Okay, so once again, the weekly's on your left, and on the right we have the 4-hour. All right, and we're going to make sure that this looks good. Good. So right down here was the neutral, and I was just showing some consolidation yesterday. All right, and we came into all our targets, and then I had to actually add some. All right, so we're coming into 408.34. Same thing. You're going to use the ES, the SPY, it doesn't matter. If we push up towards this high, look to see if we can make a higher high. If we cannot, expect a little fade here, possibly into 407.10 and then into 406.30. 406.30 and also 407.10. I'm a buyer in this area at 406, okay, right in here, 406.30, with a stop underneath 404.90. Again, I'm a buyer here at 406.30 with a stop below 404.90. On the surprise econ data, if we push and make higher highs, I'm long and stay long above 408.34 into 409.58 and 411.01. And that is SPY. Let's go ahead and move into my next name that I want to look at, and that's going to be Twitter. All right, is it too late to buy Twitter? Do you feel like you've missed a big run? Now, I'll tell you, the best answer I can give you is when you're looking at a weekly chart. All right, if you're talking about short term, sure, you could look here and say on the right hand side, on the 4-hour, we started this rally at our trendy edges. You don't really need to know what those are. If you're new to trendy, we teach that here. But we're looking for support here. We move. Okay, nice move into targets. And today, okay, as long as price is holding above this 9 EMA on the 4-hour, I like it to continue up towards 71.73. The swing target for this, let me move this over, is going to be 76.38. What I mean by swing is at least 2 weeks out, although this is very easy to hit next week or even by this Friday. Again, what we're looking for, as long as price can hold 66.5, again, this would be a stop for me if I were to take this on open. If for some reason we start to fade, this actually becomes an entry for me on a reclaim. Let me go ahead and draw that out for you. So if for some reason we can't make a new high, just like the ES and the SPY, and we start to pull back here, what I'll be looking for is this 9 EMA to catch up, a reclaim, and then I'm looking to buy a swing into this level here. My stops would be underneath this structure here at around 61.5 for a swing. Again, 61.5 for a swing. As far as intraday and looking for the move up, 66.5 is my risk. Current price is at 69.77. Targets 71.10, 73.15, 76.38. Let's go ahead and move on into Microsoft. I am currently in Microsoft, and as you could see, the blueprint has worked out very well. Now this morning I did update the team, and you can see that I have moved my risk up. So the risk was further down, but as price moves up, we want to move that risk up. Now, I have not changed the targets to the upside. Yesterday we hit our first target, okay? And now we're moving into 252.21. Sorry, this is our first target. So right now, currently, before the numbers, we're sitting right around that target. The overall move that we're seeing here is very bullish. This candle here is a chaotic candle, okay, or a big igniter candle. And what you want to see is that price can consolidate at or around above 25% of this candle. So far, things are very bullish. If we hold this, again, looking for these targets above. This also is going to form a nice support level or base. Notice that the wick shows that it came into the 9 EMA and or this consolidation area that I'm showing you. On open, what we'll be looking for? Can 252.21 hold? So if you're a trader and you are able to have targets and you're using technical analysis, the awesome thing about this is when you hit those targets, you want them to be resistance at first, and then you want to see that they turn into support. All right. So again, if this, then that. So if price holds 252.21, then I'm looking for the continuation into 255.98. Okay. If we were to pull back, let's see if 250.76 can hold. Overall, my risk for this trade, and I am in this trade as I said, and I'm looking to possibly add, and I want to go ahead and tell you to be transparent what I have. Actually, you could see it when it scrolls across here, but I'm going to pull it up. And I am 43 days out. So I'm in the 21 maze, and I have the 255s. So right now they're at 580 by 595, and that was on yesterday's close. This is a delta 45, meaning that it will move about $45 for every dollar move in the underlying equity. So as the stock goes up, in my favor $1, I can gain about $45 per contract. All right, let's go ahead and move on. That is MU. Let's go, or sorry, that's Microsoft. And let's go to Apple. Again, I am in Apple, AAPL, looking to add. Over here, you can see, some things that I've actually bought and so forth. All right, and you can see here's a good example of a close, 65%, 29%, and then some wins here. All right. Now, Apple is interesting. Everybody's bored of it, right? It's not moving like it used to. One thing, if you recall, when we're talking about the green box to red box, listen, the bigger story is this. We had these levels here before price got here. Once price came here, this is where we're looking to go long. If you went long, you basically sat sideways for almost an entire month, which can be super frustrating. So timing is the variable. All right. Now, I did not go long as soon as we hit here. I started going long, I believe, yesterday or the day before. And the reason why I'm looking for this break of the 9 EMA on the weekly, we have broke that, and then I gave the trendy edge as a target, and this is resistance until it's not. And as you can see, on the 4-hour, we hit the trendy edge. Okay? Again, all this is proof of concept, how our methodology works very, very well. So, what does this mean? It's just like what I just showed you over in Microsoft. This was a target. We need this target to hold. We need this to become support. Right now, it is resistance. On open, if I have multiple contracts, I am looking at trimming. The position that I have are the 30 April 130 calls. Or if for some reason we open up and things are looking really good. So we can actually build value above here before the open. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the stop of 127.26, and I'm going to move it up here underneath this 128, probably about 128.50. Okay, and I may add into this position. So whether you're in it or not, if I was starting this position now, then I'm looking to stay in as long as this 9 EMA can hold. Okay, looking for 130, 131, the overall target. Again, from the green box to the red box, everything between is a roadmap to help you stay in a trade or understand where to get out. All right, so that's Apple. So again, we'll be waiting to see if we can get that strength. It's just like everything else I showed you. We have highs that happen pre-market, and we want to see if the market can actually flex and show bids above this high. If it cannot, and it continues to make lower highs, then it goes bid, and then on the third pivot, makes another lower high and goes like this, then we're looking for it to come all the way back probably into 127 and a quarter. Now that does not mean the day is over. That does not mean that Apple is not going back up. This is where I expect buyers to come in. All right, so that's AAPL. Let's go ahead and move on into AMD. I am not in AMD. Currently, price is at 83.27. And here you have to ask yourself, did I miss something? Of course not. Look at this action. It reminds me of Apple. It's absolutely sideways for over a month now. From a weekly perspective, okay, if I move this over like this on a 4-hour, the reason why I came up with the resistance line is the selling pressure off of this candle here, okay? But after putting this line and paying attention to the weekly over here, you will see that it's actually in line with the upper EMA cloud, which is the 9 EMA. As long as you are in the cloud, as I tell my traders here, you are in turbulent weather, meaning you need to be cautious. You need to understand how to navigate through here. It's hard to see the light at the end of the cloud. All right, so it's going to be a lot clearer, a lot brighter, and things are looking up if we can get out of this cloud on the weekly. This is the bigger picture, folks, not this. Okay, this is just what's happening now. We need to hold above this, and you have to wait until Friday's close to see whether or not this weekly candle is actually going to hold over the cloud or not. If it does, just like Apple, this right here is the bigger picture, 91.06. As far as this is concerned, this is a short-term target for this week. So 85.47, especially if we break over this yellow line. Pullback support. Let's talk about that on AMD. If we pull back into at or around 81.63 and we start to reclaim, this is where I'm a buyer. So I'm two places I'm a buyer. If we could break above here, and if we pull back to here. I will set alerts here and here. If this happens immediately within the first 5 minutes, I will not be a buyer. Okay, I want to give the market about 30 minutes this morning on open to kind of settle in and see where I want to be. All right? And I'm just going to manage the current positions I have. It's very important. All right, and then next, I want to go over TTD. I do have a position in this. Now, everybody knows who Kathy is, right? And so Kathy and them loaded up on this not too long ago, but I'm going to be very transparent to you. I put this out on Twitter. I actually muted the word Kathy. I don't really want to follow anybody else. I just want to follow my methodology. But if it makes you feel a little bit better, somebody put a bunch of money into this several days ago. It just so happened to be about the same time that I started a position. Now, the thing about TTD is that it is volatile. Okay, it's a little illiquid at times, and so the options themselves I have to treat a bit differently. For me, I don't put a lot of money into it because it can move. It can move on weekly average $96, folks. Okay, So what I did is I bought a target for the 750 800 level, as you can see here on the left. It's starting to show a rounding bottom. It's starting to hammer just a tad. It came into my levels here, and as you can see, we are making higher lows. But we need to get over this line here at 696, and just like the last chart I've shown you, it's in a cloud. It's not an easy trade. So because of that, and because of the wide spreads, I write it off as soon as I buy it. I go smaller, and I'm just going to leave it there. And what I'm looking for is not to check it every minute, but just to wait. And if we break above this, I am looking for $800.75. All right. Overall, I do not have a stop on this position. Time is the variable. I am very confident we will move up towards 800. I can't tell you exactly when the time is, but that is my trade for right now. All right. All right, a couple other things that I want to cover is going to be Tesla. This happens to be really, this name's on everybody's mind, right? And it's been frustrating. I could tell you with confidence I have not done well on this trade over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But I also have not lost a lot of money. I use spreads on this because it's been failing. Every Monday it's given me an opportunity to make some money, and then it comes right back on me, unfortunately. So Monday, it started to look really pretty. I took some spreads, and overall, those are not working out as the expiration is this week. I was looking and gunning for 740. All right. Now, I mean, it's Thursday. It's Tesla. Anything can happen. Notice that at some point this week, it broke over the cloud but came right back in. So what I told you earlier is if you're going to watch a weekly candle, then you need to give the weekly candle the respect it deserves. That means you have to wait for the close on Friday. This candle could easily look like this by Friday, okay? Or the candle itself can also look like this, okay? And then it would just be lower highs and look like that, all right? Over here on the 4-hour, it's at my resistance point. It's at a level. It's still in the cloud. It's not an easy trade, but Tesla looks better over 702.77. If it gets there, then I'll start to get excited. All right. So again, that's Tesla. Let's look at Amazon. We had a nice little trade in Amazon. You can see it here. This 46%, and honestly, if I would have held this, probably going to be even nicer on open. Let me see if it's changed. But Amazon has been great as well. This blueprint has worked awesome. First, they hit our first target and it stalled. And then yesterday, once it went bid over target 1, it then hit target 2. This is about where I closed. And then my overall target that I was looking for is 3334.5. All right. Now I bought out of the money, but I knew that we were going to move very quickly over this target, and so I just capitalized on that with 46%. My overall target, just like Apple, is going to be this blue line. That's for this week. I would be careful here. I'm not saying it's a close. What I'm saying is I would expect it to resist. If for some reason this level here, write it down, 3334.59, if we blast through it, the market must be on fire. My levels work. They're the best levels out there. I would put that up against anything. I challenge you. Our levels are the best levels out there. We use them every single day. Every one of my trades are an entry, stop, and target. Capital preservation is always on my mind. That's the most important thing. Still sitting on profits for this year. The last 2 months have not been the easiest months. The last 2 weeks have been a little bit better. But I'm sure a lot of traders are still very confused. If you're looking for a process and you're looking for a methodology that will stick to you and give you a good base for the rest of your trading career, come and check us out at TrendyTrading.co. I appreciate you. Have a great morning. Good luck to you. And I might actually pop on live today, which is a little bit different, when I start to trade. So if you want to come join me, most likely I'll start streaming in about another hour and 6 minutes. So about another hour and 6 minutes, we'll get going. If you like this content, give us a like and a retweet. Check us out. We'll see you soon.